Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode 109 of CrossButtonVR, our journey into the world of VR. Now, I'm your host, Laurie, and it is an honor to be joined by one of the handiest influencers in the Metaverse. It's Reece, and we are pleased to be joined by surely what must be one of the hippiest influencers in the Metaverse. It's Craig, aka the Hippie Pickle.
How do?
How's it going, Craig?
Not too bad yourselves.
Oh, I'm doing well. Reece, you doing well?
You're a fucker, you know that.
You're a handy man. Hey, you're a handy man to have around.
Clearly not.
What do you mean? You've been working hard all day. You've been grafting everything.
I have been grafted with one major mistake, which we'll leave out of this. We don't need to talk about that.
We don't dwell on our failures. We focus on the successes. What have you been? You've been looking at windows and knocking down walls and plastering and that's digging holes.
That's the intention at the moment. Is just clearing out everything in the room to be able to do that. Concrete should be going down tomorrow, though. That's the plan. Hopefully,
Reece doesn't believe in getting tradesmen in. He's like, no, I'll do it all myself.
Usually, yes.
But... This is called Mario now.
Yeah, usually.
He says, I've been playing Electrician Simulator in VR. We don't need to get all cool out, Sparky. I know what I'm doing.
I'll do the lights. Don't you worry, darling. You sit down. Don't you worry. I'll do it for you.
Oh, wow. Anyway, enough about Reece. Craig, hello.
Hello.
So, for those that somehow do not know you, Craig, they clearly haven't been on our Discord to find out who you are. But please tell everyone who you are, where you come from, what do you do?
Well, I am Craig, the Hippie Pickle, as some people may know, from Yorkshire. So,
Are you from Yorkshire?
Yeah, can you tell? How do you know someone's from Yorkshire? They'll fucking tell you.
Yeah.
Reece is already hanging his head.
Reece is like, oh god, this is going to be a long episode.
I can sense it now.
But gaming since the 80s. So seen all the generations really. But just with PSVR2 especially, just got into content creation and came across you lovely people. And you kind of stuck with me now.
And you have your very own YouTube channel that you put out your content on?
Yes, I am.
Come on, let's plug it. Come on, you're supposed to plug your stuff here now.
Well, just the Hippie Pickle or at Hippie_Pickle is my YouTube. So yeah, it's been going well. It's
I'll
not
put
too
it
bad.
in the description.
It's been going all right over the last year or so. So I hit 100 subscribers last June. I was kind of going around Download Festival getting people to subscribe. And then hit 200 in December and just shy of 300 at the moment. So
wow, so yeah.
But by a jink, if you subscribe to channel.
Is that what he sounds like, Reece? Well, hopefully a few of our audience will subscribe to you today. And if they're not subscribing to us, please do give this podcast a sub on whatever service you're using and like and subscribe and comment, all that kind of stuff. Twitter, Blue Sky, at CrossButtonVR, all that kind of stuff. As well as when you're going to find Hippie_Pickle, look for CrossButtonVR. Just sub to all of us. It makes a huge difference to all of us.
Cheers.
Oh, yes. Cheers. Drink fresh. So the main reason we've got Hippie on or Craig on today is we are both Pinter fans. So
it's really. But Reece, next time I see you, I've got a present for you.
Got a present for me.
And for the audio listeners, I've got a brand new Pinter glass. Well, I've got 6 of these.
Oh, blimey.
You get a lot of freebies, do you?
Okay.
I've got 3 Pinters. They all come with 2 each.
You've got 3 of them.
I got 3 of them. Yeah.
Bloody
wow.
hell. I'm gonna have to try one of these things. You both just rave about it. It's like it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Well, this is my last bottle of Lost in Translation brown ale. It's actually I've had it bottled since the 9th of September last year, and it's 7.4.
Nice. Well,
Okay,
I'm currently drinking Public House, and I've got arriving, I think, tomorrow in the post, Space Hopper. So I should be brewing a Space Hopper.
You're not going to be disappointed in Space Hopper. It's lovely.
Oh, lovely.
I think that's just 2 minutes we're getting banned.
Yeah, no, okay. So let's talk about some VR. What's your favourite VR game, Craig?
Of all time?
Sure.
It's hard.
Of the last day.
Just one that you've played. Comes to the top of your head is like one of the best ones you've played.
I wouldn't say it's the best one I've played, but the one I probably sank the most time into is No Man's Sky. It's always No Man's Sky.
Good one.
It's always the reason for my backlog. It's majority of what I played on PSVR 1. And when they finally got it right on PSVR 2, that's why my backlog's so bad, because new content comes out and I'm in No Man's Sky for weeks on end.
Yeah, you got another new DLC coming out as well, ain't you? So I mean,
Yeah, I've got another expedition to get through with my wife, so I've still not edited the last two ones, but
fair play.
Nice. So what is it that, if you've been gaming since the 80s, what is it that particularly draws you to VR, that gets you starting making content about it? What is it you love so much about VR?
Well, for us older folk, but growing up in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, he's young.
Yeah.
See the grey hairs.
Yeah, no, well, I've just dyed my beard just for this, because this was completely grey before I came on the cast, and the beard was looking a bit, worse for wear. But yeah, we grew up with films like Tron and The Lawnmower Man, and these kind of virtual reality type programs. But as a kid growing up, it's like, oh, wouldn't it be great if you could be in this? Wouldn't it be great if you could sit in this go-kart? Or wouldn't it be great if you were Mario going through the pipes? And then we now get to do that. So it's something so hard, and you've probably seen it yourself. As
I love the example you use there of sitting in a go-kart. You can just go sit in go-karts. Craig, that is a quite thing. Of all the things you could do in VR, I'm going to go go-karting.
Yeah, but it's like playing Walkabout. You don't get to play these awesome courses in real life, because they don't exist,
Yeah,
so it's just those wacky races and boosts, and you don't get to. I think it's frowned upon if you chuck shells and banana peels at other people, in the races. So.
Yeah, last time I did that, I got told to leave. So
yeah.
Maybe stick it to VR. Yeah.
Car 64, time to come in.
Yeah. What did I do wrong?
So you're a PSVR 1. You jumped. Is that your first VR experience?
My first own headset, but of course, my first VR experience was those big arcade things back in the 90s.
Virtualities things.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it was the big stand-up cabinet. And there was a seated one, but it was like skeletons with bows and arrows on platforms, and that was, all polygons and things like that.
Yeah, it was like 2 frames a second.
People complain about the wire on PSVR 1, but that thing was like that.
Yeah, you put like a sort of a 2-ton helmet on your head.
It's having two big wires.
The frame rate is like, you put it in, you're instantly like, I'm going to be sick.
It was about 14 frames or something.
The idea of like sort of lag, people just do not know like how good they've got it now. When people complain about 90
FPS reprojected.
Yeah, the reprojection is not good. It's like, mate, do you remember that those cell things you're talking about? Do you remember they did that game show that Craig Charles presented where it was all people in VR? What was that? That just came into my head. I don't know where it's come from.
I'm not sure. I think of Craig Charles in VR. I'm thinking of the groinal attachment on Red Dwarf.
Oh, God. There we go. And it took him, we're 5 minutes in and he's mentioned groinal attachments already.
It's almost like having Alex back.
I don't know. B Haptics did that for the April Fool with their haptic shorts.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see it?
I'd buy a pair of those.
You'd buy a pair of those.
100%.
Go on, kick me in the balls again. Go on. On VR chat.
Moving on.
On that bombshell. Craig, it's lovely to have you. Thank you for joining us for this episode.
Absolute privilege.
And you have joined us an exciting week, because it feels like we're going to be talking about a game tonight that we've been waiting for a very long time. It's been the much delayed, and one final little delay there just at the last minute. But I'm pleased to say it's all been worth it, because we have been playing The Wanderer, Fragments of Fate. Now, Craig, have you managed to have a go at this one yet?
I have, but I'm only about an hour and a half in, so I've really only got to the opening apartment.
Oh, yeah, similar to all of this.
We're all the same. Yeah. So don't worry, audience.
But I've played about 4 hours of the original this week, so I am pretty versed on it. So
why would you do that? Why would you?
Because I was trying to get a
see which one was better. He's trying to find out which one was actually better. But
I just wanted to see the difference, really.
Okay, well let's start there then. So people that may have played the original before a few years ago, they're wondering, was it worth picking this up again? Tell them, Craig, is this worth playing through again?
At the moment, I would say hold off at the moment.
Oh.
Well, he's jumped to his conclusion before he even got started.
Yeah,
didn't even get to the main grit of it. Just like, nah.
Yeah, you got to tease.
Hold off, right, guys, straight to the news.
Okay, well, so
no, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad in the slightest. But I just think it needed a little bit more time to
ironically, yes, those delays not quite enough.
But it's like I was loving my time in the original. I absolutely loving the original. And the improvements they've made are breathtaking, but it's very, very ambitious. It's a very ambitious game.
Yeah.
But just having a full body for a start, and just see when you first wipe that mirror and you see your full body avatar,
Yeah.
your eye tracking. It's like,
Yeah,
wow,
I love it
this
because
is really good.
when you blink, you realize like, oh shit, he blinks as well. Or you can close one eye and it'll close one eye.
I've got to check some footage because I was going buzz-eyed and turning my eyes upside down and seeing if it actually could translate on the footage. I haven't checked it yet.
Sorry, that's something you can actually do.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
Okay, right, we do.
you can do zombie eye like that.
Oh, okay, right, cool. All right, that was out of curiosity.
Yeah.
In terms of like the graphics, the gameplay, just in a sense, from like the PSVR 1 version to this version, do you see an improvement instantly, or is it just kind of like, yeah?
Graphics and gameplay, definitely.
Okay, cool.
But that said, recently playing the PSVR 1 version, it still looks bloody good on a PS5. I don't know what it looked like on a base PS4 or PS4 Pro.
Probably saying it's PS4 Pro, yeah.
But it looks really good. There's quite a bit of anti-aliasing on the PSVR version.
Okay.
But to be honest,
it
looks better than some Quest 3 games I've been playing. It does hold up really, really well. I was surprised how quickly I got back into using the Move controllers.
Well, let's focus on the new release because that's what we've all been given codes for. So, I mean, I've jumped in and I'm super impressed. Obviously, I got no experience with the previous one. I was kind of blown away. And this, for the record, this is like such a me game. The whole really sort of authored storytelling type experience, quite kind of tight focus narrative, people talking at you and telling you things. I would say the combat, like everyone seems to be saying, I kind of wish it just wasn't there at all, because you've got games like Red Matter and Red Matter 2 that have shown that you don't need combat in games like this. By all means, like have your little slingshot to shoot targets and stuff. But when you, so the first setting is the first setting's in that lab. It's a kind of prologue training tutorial area. But then the first proper setting is you're in Boston in 2061, and there's been some sort of kind of world-ending floods, and it's very kind of Last of Us 2 style world, and there's lots of bandits everywhere that are kind of inhabiting these apartments that you have to get past and stab generally. And yeah, I just kind of wish that the combat wasn't in there really, because it feels very like light and floaty, and like that things don't react to your punches or your knife stabs.
It was that first knife throw. It just feels empty.
Yeah.
You throw it. There's no kind of sound from the throwing or from the impact. It just feels empty.
I think
it's like no matter what you're doing, you're sending a dart.
Yeah.
It's like you throw the knife.
Well, the eye track is really great. It's like pinpoint.
It feels good throwing it, but like I think the way I kind of summarize it in my head is that you'd hear more impact by hitting a pillow.
You'd hear thud, or some kind of there's like just totally
just a bit of a squelch
sound.
noise, like when it hits the head, something a bit fleshy.
And I think that's why it misses out that impact.
But now Laurie said it, I'm kind of on his side here. Like, I think the main thing that this game starts off like, as soon as you load it up and you get into Boston, even the first part when you're picking up the rabbits, but like when you get into Boston and you walk out of that area, you're like, holy
wow,
this
it looks good,
stunning. And then you walk through and you're looking at everything, like, this looks great, it looks great. And then all of a sudden, a person just runs towards you. Oh, you've got to hit him with your fist. I'm like, fuck that. I want to carry on looking at the desks and seeing what's on there. I don't want to punch this person. I don't care about that. And that's one of the first times in VR that I'm like, I don't really fancy punching this person in the face. I just want to kind of have a little look around. So I'm kind of feeling more with Laurie in this sense. Like, the fist combat, like hand-to-hand combat, just get rid of it. Like, fucking let me walk around these places, have a nice little look around. I know there's weapons in the game and things like that. Keep those in, because you're probably going to have less of an issue with, shooting than you are fist combat. Because it's one of them things that, unless you're Blade and Sorcerer, you're not going to get it perfect, it seems. It's like, and that's with like a lot of VR games that do this type of combat. So, I don't know.
And they could have had the enemies in it, but just make it purely stealth and make it like...
Hitman style, break the necks type of thing.
No, just make it so you got to sneak past them.
That would work too. Yeah, just give you a bit of a threat, won't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the game now. I can't remember the names of the game. The two French ones with Hugo and Amicia. What are they called?
Oh, Plague Tale.
Plague Tale, yeah, thank you. And those are games you don't like. Just make the combat like that, where you just have to wait till their backs turned and sneak past them.
Yeah.
And then if they see, like, make them much stronger than you, so you just don't really stand a chance if you try and get in combat. So you have to avoid the combat, and that would have kind of been a way around the fact that their combat just doesn't really work. But yeah, so for me, like when you're in Boston, you're walking around and you're climbing, you're exploring, you're doing all the kind of hand holding, typical VR stuff. Reminded me a bit of Horizon because there's a lot of kind of climbing and things which is done.
Yeah.
That all works really well, and the environments are really good. And then you get to your grandfather's apartment, which is where the game really starts, and you get your kind of watch, which has got all your menu and stuff in it, and the story gets delivered to you there. And I won't spoil any of it because it's great to learn all of that. But that apartment is essentially like you're in a puzzle room. It's like you're playing the room in VR where you have to solve all these puzzles and interact things, and there's loads of stuff to interact and explore, and the apartment's just so full of like fun things to interact with and mess around with, and you want to play with it, and then you realize later on, you come back to it, you're like, oh, hold on a minute, that I was playing with that water pistol earlier, I need that now for this puzzle I need to solve. So it's really great at just giving you lots of toys, and you want to play with them just organically because they are fun toys to play with, and then they're used to solve puzzles. And so that whole side of it is just so much better than the combat. So I'm playing it. I've just knocked it right down to easy, and I'm like, this combat, I almost kind of want to just sort of breeze past, literally just like breeze past the enemies. I don't want any change. I hate the idea of playing it and some enemy stabbing me because I didn't like parry the blow and stab them in the face quickly enough. It's just like, that's not what I'm looking for in this game. It's like being in a movie and stuff. So yeah, I think playing it in that way, I think it's fantastic what I've played so far. I think it's so confidently done with its storytelling, and it's the voice acting is like on another level. Yeah, I'm so super impressed.
Yeah, I'd agree with the voice acting being really good. That was something I've kind of picked up on, especially on the boat, that incredibly slow boat.
Yeah.
Well, that's it from the original. That entire section of the opening is like a lot longer, and it's very different because of all the extra mechanics they're introducing you to. So that journey, it's because like she drops you off pretty near the apartment in the original, but then she bogged off when I was lifting the gate. I tried closing it on her just to like teach her a lesson for leaving me alone.
I did that.
Yeah. But yeah, the apartment, and the great thing about this game is items are exactly where you leave them. So, and if you've got kind of a bit of kind of OCD and you're like organizing things, you will find you organizing the apartment. I spent time just tidying up. I was picking up all the bits of paper and putting them on the drawers because I didn't want the paper there. I putting all the cleaning products on the shelf. I'm like, right, I'm going to have all my relics on this shelf. He's like, yeah, I am that kind of gamer. I organize stuff. So I know exactly.
Oh, my God.
So when you say you played 4 hours of the original, that's like
that's
an
just,
hour.
that's
4 hours of tidying up.
3 hours of cleaning. Do you want to come clean my house for me, Craig?
I know, but later on, when I found out I needed a certain item, like, I know exactly where that is. It's above sink with sponge.
I left that on shelf 3.
Oh, well, on shelf 3, yeah. Exactly.
I would hate
the
to
developers
see.
are going to be watching your stream like, what the fuck is he doing? What's he
We
doing?
designed the game for this. We did a story. The story took us forever to make, and he's just there organising shelves.
Yeah,
Jesus
I was also making people lick a toad, but that's something else as well, you know.
In VR, right?
Yes, in VR.
But they've done all of the little interactions, like when you use the drill and all the kind of multi-tools. It all feels so good, the VR interactivity. And in the very first scene, when you're in that lab, you see a balloon. And the little
Party poppers,
party poppers.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the balloon, like, you hit the balloon, and I'm playing on PSVR2, the haptics on hitting the balloon and the sound and the way that it kind of bounces, it just feels so realistic. Like, it was utterly convincing. The fact that the haptic just gives you the exact feeling like you're hitting a balloon, and then the sound and the way that it moves is just, it looks 100% convincing.
Right.
It's fantastic.
I genuinely want to know if they mocapped a balloon for that. Like, I want to know they just went and got a mocap suit on a balloon, just started doing that just so people could get it to look perfect, because it does. Like, when you said the balloons look authentic, I'm like, yeah, they really fucking do. It's really weird.
And when you find one later on in Boston, it's just like a random balloon, and by that point you've got a knife in your pocket. So you're like, I wonder what would happen if I just touch the tip of and poof, it does. It pops exactly the right time, of the right feeling, the right sound effects, and you're like, oh, that's so satisfying.
I hit one with a hammer in the start. It didn't break at first. I hit it with the hammer, it didn't break, and I did the one on the table, and it actually broke. I was like, oh, it popped in front of me. I was like, that's cool. The first one in the air did not.
Have you got the walking haptics turned on?
Yes.
Yeah.
I imagine that's going to drain the battery quite a lot, but that's pretty good, because I know I played a few games with the actual DualSense on flat screen, and the walking mechanics of the different surfaces. I know, I think Control did it really well.
Yeah,
it really feels good in the controller, and yeah, that's not. It's they've done that really well, and the headset haptics is immersive that way.
no, it's definitely nice.
And that's why I find it so weird. Like, how can they make popping a balloon or just bouncing a balloon and playing keepy uppy feels so good, and yet like any interaction with a person just feels completely just doesn't no place being there really.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the bit that most games that are built on the knife combat or just the stabbing. If you think of games or like kind of like anything really, there's like Metro, like that feels really good kind of physical combat where you can sneak up and stab people and stuff and shoot. That combat feels really good. And you thought, surely that's like the easiest bit. It seems for most VR games, or like Arcanator, it just feels so solid and weighty.
Yeah,
like why didn't they just kind of copy? I don't know. They've done the really hard bits, they've nailed, and then the bits which you kind of think take for granted now because every game does it. They've
like even lifting the dumbbells, the different size dumbbells,
the weights
have got different weights. You know, you're going like that with your hands at the same time, but one's going up a lot slower. You know, they've done that
like 25
so well.
kg and pick, you know, or 10 kg or whatever it is, and it's just like you feel the difference in the weights in them. It's crazy how they've done that. Like one arm will just absolutely drop while the other one's kind of still maintaining in the middle.
And that guy as well, what really looks into the details, because some things like you pick up a photo and you can grab it at any point, turn it over, turn it round. But then other items, it's only got the fixed grab points. And it just seems a little bit like even the bunnies. You pick up the bunny, you can only hold it with one hand. Otherwise, it just swaps hand when you try to grab it. And you can touch all the different limbs. That's brilliant. But you can't turn it. You can't grab it from different points.
You can just twist your arm upside down. You know? Just control your wrist.
Yeah,
you know?
but you can't just grab it from the leg or anything like that.
Mate,
because
you're
someone
that's organising shelves in VR. Okay, right? You can flip your wrist around for 3 seconds to look at a bunny.
No, but see, Metro did the same thing.
I get what you mean. You should
in Arizona, it's like
hold it for the leg or something and all that kind of stuff.
You could grab the bottles. You could grab the bottles from any position, turn it round and rotate it, and it's a proper 3D object. But then others, it's just got grabbing it from this side at the front only.
Yeah.
Fixed point.
Yeah, I mean they don't account for absolute lunatics like you who try and want to.
Yeah,
like,
it's quite
cool. So just you know, I mean,
I just don't understand why you would have one thing have it and other items not have it in the same game.
I suppose in certain, I think in them type of senses, I think the bunny is such a small thing on that first chapter kind of thing. Like you see it there. I don't think it's really something that needed to be. But at the same point, I get what you mean. You should be able to have that full level of interaction with absolutely everything. Like you slide your hand down it, you can grab it wherever you want. I get that, yeah. But then again, that adds more memory to the game. And I mean, let's be honest, this is already a big game. It's like, what, 50 gigabytes or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already big.
So,
it's meaty.
Yeah, it's about 12 to 15 hours, I think, as well, from what I understand, in how long it takes. So it's, definitely one of the longest games on the platform.
Nice.
Story-driven games, anyway. So, and I'm really excited to get into some of the other settings and to see all the other different things and just how the story pans out. The opening set, the story is really once you get in the apartment and you kind of see it all. It really does. Like, okay, I'm invested now in this. I'm really compelled to see it, and I can imagine playing it. It's going to be like kind of a box set of. Well, something like Quantum Leap, or it's going to be like a TV box set where you're going from different episodes and different places and different settings, and it just seems like it's going to become more complex and more in depth. And
well, you've got a similar taste to me, Laurie. It's where it's like I love these big single player adventures. I always have done. It's throughout gaming. I love a good story to get involved in, and that's kind of what I want in VR all the time. Is these big adventures, and just with the collectibles in this. As you go through the game, there's going to be there's more and more collectibles you can put into a machine and get different watch faces. And if you like collecting all the shards, you're looking at every nook and cranny. You know, that's kind of things I love doing along with the story. Just things to keep you distracted as as well.
It reminded me a lot of Red Matter 2 in that it's that kind of story.
Stunning
very
game.
Environmental.
Still not loaded it.
What?
I think Red Matter 2 it still might be the best.
I've got it. Game. I own it. I just not played it yet.
Yeah, Red Matter 2 is definitely still the best.
Certainly the crispest game
on PSVR2. I mean, it's up there with. I mean, Hitman looks pretty crisp, but there's still like some bits in it like where you twist your wrist around and it looks a bit funky. But you know, that's VR for you.
If you like Red Matter, I think you'll love The Wanderer.
Yeah.
So you're playing on the Pro, aren't you, Laurie? Anyway.
Yeah.
Are you getting a lot of pop up? or texture pop-ins.
I'm not noticing any. No, I've not had any technical issues so
next
far.
time you play, walk into the bathroom in the apartment, and the wall above the bath, as soon as you get close to it, the texture completely changes. Then you walk away and it changes back. But it's such a glaring texture level of detail change.
Okay.
And I'm seeing that in the game a lot. And it seems to be lighting affected. And that's kind of my initial disappointment is there's even at the start, there's a lot of level of detail texture pop-ins.
I noticed, I think it was the broken airplane when you're on the boat and it doesn't have the window panes are still there in the broken airplane, but they're kind of floating. There's no frame to them, so they're just there. And I chuckled at that, but again, it's like a background scenery thing. So I'm like, that's an easy fix. Just remove the glass completely. You know, it's not an issue. But
that could be just like the pure horsepower of the Pro in general. It doesn't need an actual Pro patch, but it can render things probably a bit smoother.
Yeah, I will look out for it.
Laurie, please report
that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I'll look out for it for sure. But I mean, I think I've seen that a few other comments of people kind of reviewing it, saying that there are some bugs that could have done with a bit more time for a bit more polish. Yeah. I just think the world is so complex and there's so much stuff going on. The fact that, like you say, Craig, that you can move things and they all stay where you put them, like the load that must put on the memory to kind of track everything you're doing and where you're putting it, and it's such a complex simulation. Level of detail.
I did manage to break it in the apartment.
You did manage
to
break
putting
it.
Just putting the watch on, I broke it because you put the watch on, it tells you to get that item out, and then it won't let you drop the item until it's finished talking. You've got to put it back into your inventory. I dropped it and it flew the other side of the apartment, and it locked me in the spot. I couldn't walk, so I couldn't get the item. Then I managed to reach a crowbar next to me and put the crowbar in my inventory instead, and that got past that section. But then it wanted me to test the moving the menu, and that wouldn't work. I had to actually quit the game and reload it. So I actually did break it in the first hour.
So I've not anything like that.
Yeah, I think Laurie, by the sound of it, Laurie, I think you've probably had the smoother experience out of the three of us.
I think it sounds like Craig is trying to purposely break the game and throw every kind of random scenario out the game to try.
Sam at Mighty Eyes is making notes like,
I'm going to break this.
To Hippie Pickle.
Yeah, don't send him any codes again. They've got their heads in their hands listening to you. Like,
he bought it, bless him. The only main issue I had really is, like I said, with the combat and then AI. AI is stupidly, laughably awful. And I'm going to put it that bluntly because I went to hit an enemy and he went to hit me, and I kind of moved to the left, and he kept trying to hit me when I weren't there. I was behind him, and he kept trying to hit me for about a solid 30 seconds to a minute until he turned around and looked at me, and I just hit him over the head. It was quite humorous. At the same point, it did have a little bit of laughter, but at the same point, the AI is, it's horrendous. But these are things I know that can be fixed, and I think that moment that I got when I cleaned the mirror and you saw your reflection, you could do all that stuff in the mirror. That moment of sheer wow. I know there's going to be so many more moments like that in this game. Yeah. But I also know that there is going to be moments of, jank, issues, stupidity and things like that we all know shouldn't be there. And I think they're going to get a lot of flack for it. And I think we all know that because obviously it's been delayed before and so many times. And by delaying a game that many times, you're expected, the world now expects you to release it with no issues whatsoever. And I have seen a few posts kind of stating that. But I'm going to reiterate what some of the other people have said, like, let them just finish it. Like, let them do the patches because this will be a great game. Like, it's good at the 100%. Moment and it will get better. And there is some minor issues, but I don't think it's enough for you to kind of completely write this off. Like, I mean, the moments, first 20 minutes of the game, me absolutely dropping my jaw at just the sheer wow of how everything's working. The level of interaction as well, like it's near to the amount of Half-Life Alyx with the level of interaction. And again, that's another huge load on a console to be running. Like it's crazy. And just if you're not ready to buy it yet, keep wait to the patches and keep an eye out.
See, I'm surprised because I maybe it is because I'm playing it on Pro, but I think like that. I'm surprised that you're kind of the technical kind of issues that you're having with it. And yeah, the AI is done with the combat is done, but I think I've not had any kind of technical issues beyond that.
I mean,
And
I've
like
only
I
had
say,
that one texture thing.
I've just knocked it down too easy and just think, well, the combat is just not something I'm interested in. And I think the difficulty modes don't have any impact on the kind of the puzzles, which is what I'm doing it for. I want to explore the apartment and work out what to put into where and which kind of code to put into what and stuff, and where to find the password for things. That's what I'm playing it for. So yeah, it doesn't mind me. It doesn't really bother me that the AI is dumb, because it's kind of like it allows me to kind of just kind of breeze past it almost.
No.
And it's kind of, that's just the combat is just there as a kind of story.
I think it's a filler, isn't it? The combat,
not to challenge me. I want the puzzles to challenge me. Exactly. I don't want the combat to challenge me. I just want.
The puzzles are definitely going to challenge you. There's some stuff I'm stuck on on when I've been playing it. But it's definitely going to get your brain thinking. It's like, how do I do this bit? And then you go and explore another area, and you'll find something. It's like, you know, it's like it's that moment, and you're like, yes, and you get so. And it is exciting. It is exciting, but it sounds like what I've been reading. There's been a day one patch, and I think from the early reviewers, they didn't experience as many problems as what we're suddenly getting on launch, because this day one patch has been out. So I think that's put a few inherent problems in there.
It's like you always say, you fix one thing, you break two. It always ends up happening. And another game that happened that quite a bit was Very Bad Dreams. They kept fixing things, and it ended up being that certain things would break because of it. And I mean, they eventually got it to the point where it ran smoothly. But every time you do a patch, you can break something else, and just keep pointing out the things you're going to see. I don't. It's like, I've seen people being disappointed, but I've also seen people, getting them hyped to kind of continue doing the patches. And I think it's going to get to the point when you're going to be happy with it. And I think at this point, like, even in its current situation, like it's how it is now, I'm still happy to continue. I'm still happy to continue playing, and I'm looking forward to continue playing. I mean, I haven't hit a bug where it makes me have to restart the whole game again, because if it did that, then I'd be like, no, done, mate. Let's write off. Don't bother buying it. But I haven't had that, so I can't. I know
I've actually had two, but it's like it's just my luck.
Yeah, at the moment for me, I've not had any kind of where I can just be like, don't buy this at all. Like, I still would say to people, pick it up, but maybe just wait a little bit longer if you ain't eager to play it yet. But other than that, I'm sure we'll be revisiting it and talking about it more in the future as well when patches come to it. And I mean, look at Behemoth when it released; it had some issues.
Yeah.
Some
issues. And that's been patched so many times.
Exactly. So,
and right now, apparently, if you play Behemoth, it's like pretty much perfect, as he envisioned.
And that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing Behemoth. I kept having issues with the progression. So,
all right. Well, let's leave it there on the Wanderer then, because I'm sure we will return to it
Exactly.
in the coming weeks, and we'll see how they do with patches and stuff. But yeah, for me, certainly gets my stamp of approval. But I do take your point about if you can wait a few weeks, I'm sure it'll get even better.
That's my summary.
Such a backlog of great games. People still playing Hitman. I just say, if you're still playing these big games you just bought recently, finish those off first. Get those done, and then get this. But I'm loving my time in Wanderer, and it's a fantastic game. If you're playing something else, just wait a little bit. But it's going to be 100% worth it. It's a great story. It's a great game.
Yeah,
I mean, just PSVR2 the last few weeks, we've had Underdogs, Wanderer, and Hitman. It's just absolute like
banger after banger,
smashing out. And people still say, "Oh, there's no games on it, or it's been abandoned by Sony." And Sony aren't doing a particularly good job. Well, they have been pushing.
Can we just make a point
quite
here?
a lot, actually.
Can we just make a point here? Sony aren't doing anything yet, But yet, the last 3 games that have been released on PlayStation, even the 4th one that's coming, which we'll talk about in the news, have all had trailers on Sony's PlayStation. On the YouTube, on their Twitter, And, maybe there is a reason as to why. But at the same point, they haven't completely abandoned it. Yeah, they may not be doing any first-party stuff, but they're still acknowledging it. But yes, my last thing on Wanderer. I think.
Go.
No, I'm just kidding. Let's go.
No, I mean that's what you said. There's no first party. I mean, that's for a lot of people. It doesn't count if it's not first party IP.
Exactly.
Then it's not a
real
game.
That's the thing. It's fuck all that.
But I just think if you've got a PSVR2 and you don't know what to play on it, then pick up Wanderer, Hitman, and Underdogs, and that is like 3 absolutely brutal, such good experiences. So different in their own way, but yeah.
That's where I went wrong with PSVR1. I was only playing like the big titles, what I knew about. I was only following mainstream media. I wasn't in the wider VR community, and I didn't realize, but there's such fantastic games in the indie industry, and that's what I'm now realizing, especially as a content creator. Is some fantastic games, what you might not have heard of, but it's like, get out your box. It doesn't have to be the big names, that's the thing with VR. You need to see what's there. You need to speak to other people,
Yeah.
No.
Right. Well, let's wrap through the news, shall we?
Yeah, let's go through the news.
We need a little news jingle.
And we shall. Now for the news. Well, that sounded a bit creepy, didn't it? Sit down now. Now for the news. Now.
CrossButtonVR news.
Thank you. What are you gonna say? We shall. I don't know. First up, Wallace and Gromit Grand Getaway is coming to PlayStation VR2.
Yes.
It's now popped up there. You can now wishlist it. Have you played this one on Quest? Either of you?
I have not. I've got it. I've just not got around to it.
I got the warning saying it's leaving the catalogue and I missed it.
I can't believe you've got a game that you've not played, Reece. That's someone like.
I've got too many games on the Quest. I've got more games on my Quest than I have on the PSVR2, and I've had the Quest longer. The Quest for a short amount of time.
Yeah, well, it's very easy to pick up lots of games for.
Oh yeah, themselves.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Wallace and Gromit fan, this looks like the game for you. Really,
I'll tell you what,
it's like a lot of fun. Don't know how good it is as an actual game, but if you're just kind of as a Wallace and Gromit fan service thing, it looks like you are just literally in VR hanging out with Wallace and Gromit doing silly.
It's like an old point and click type adventure,
it's
kind of story, and See, it's something I really enjoy, but I love Wallace and Gromit, but I don't think I'm that into it, to really get invested.
I'll try it, and I'll mention. If we've got time, we'll mention it next week, just so I can give a little bit of see what it's like.
All right. Well, it looks very nice. Well, all right, we'll come back to that one.
All right.
Masters of Light has now had its hand tracking update. That's now available. So as well as Waltz of the Wizard. Oh, there we go. Also, you can now play Masters of Light on PSVR2 without the controllers, just waving your hands around. And Craig, you've had a go on this, haven't you?
I have. Yes,
you were not too impressed.
I have. Yeah. Well, I've never liked putting out content what's kind of downwards looking, and I'm never harsh with things, but I actually did get Coven talk to me because they found my video very hard to watch because I was struggling to get a lot of it working.
Oh no.
And I was expecting more because when I originally reviewed it when it came out on PSVR2, I found it quite generic, and it wasn't really thrilling.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought having the hand tracking and the different movements would kind of make you more involved in what you were doing. And something as simple as the freeze time, you clap your hands, I could not get it to work.
That's the thing. Clapping hands in VR on hand tracking is one of them things that can be so hit and miss. Like you get some Quest games where you clap your hands and one hand to go through the other. I didn't have any issues with this on the Quest though, with the hand tracking. So I mean, again, but we did see in some videos with Waltz the Wizard when you clap your hands, some of them they don't always go together properly and things like that. So.
Well, it's like the one skill you do when you do a shockwave by doing a triangle and then splitting your hands. That worked perfectly virtually every time. But it's just some of the other skills just weren't working for me.
I mean, to be fair, I'm sure the devs are watching videos like yours, and they'll be going back and tweaking it
exactly.
and trying to
refine and I had some good feedback with them.
Further patches. Yeah, and that's fair play. They reached out to you and stuff, so fingers crossed they do get it going again. So, yep, that's Masters of Light. We've got a couple of new release dates for a couple of games coming out. We've got Harper Gun is coming out on the 10th of April, so just a few days from when this episode launches. Reece, you've been playing this on Quest.
Yeah.
So this is launching. I think it's coming out of its beta. I think it's getting its full kind of
full release.
Full release with
campaign in early access. Yeah, so you can do the campaign on Quest. It's in early access. So obviously just some little issues here and there. It's good little game, point and click type of thing. So when I say point and click, it's you choose one bit to teleport to. Which is for me not usually a big fan of, but I don't know, something about this one kind of clicked with me. I think it's the actual, the gravity gloves that you use, where you can kind of grab things and just slam them to the floor and all that kind of stuff, or use your environment as shields while you're shooting others. I don't know. I think it's really well done, like in the sense of like how something random have done their games before. Like obviously with Toy Trains, it was a very good introductory to VR, but also a good game for people that have been playing VR for a long time. And then I think this is another one where it's like one of the things where I don't think it'd be for everyone because yes, it is a bit dated in its movements and things like that. But for me, I was really having a good time with it. Really having a good time, and I think for people like new to VR, I think this is one of the ones where they get some good enjoyment from it, and I think it's one that's quite a good bit of fun for all the family as well. You can get anyone, any age in this to have a bit of good fun with it. So
it's got some gorgeous graphics in it. It looks really
it's nice. It
I
looked good on
love
Quest
the
as
art
well.
style.
Yeah, it looked good on
Yeah, I
Quest.
love the art style. I can imagine it would look good on Quest because it's very Quest headset. Always amazes me when I put it on, just how crisp.
Colours, yeah.
How just it's absolutely massive. They're amazing. Those headset panels. But yeah, so that's coming to PSVR2 and
just
entering
telekinesis is always fun. It looks,
exactly.
watching Reese's video, and it's whenever you can grab something and just fling it about in VR,
and it has
always feels good.
I think as well, it's to be pointed out, it has one of the best squelch noises I've ever heard in a VR game. Okay.
Lovely.
Got a lot of good squelch.
Wait for that. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be talking about the PSVR2 version soon as well when it's released. So.
Squelch haptics.
Yep. So also coming out on the 10th of April, Civ 7 or Civilization 7 is getting its Quest release then as well. So this is a Quest VR exclusive. Civ 7, you can play it in VR or in mixed reality tabletop mode, which looks really cool. So yeah, I think a lot of people will be excited to play this. It's going to be £50 or $60 though, so that is quite inexpensive. I think Reece, you told me it's the most expensive game.
I think it is. Like, I mean, okay, right. When I say that, there is some games on Quest like are £1,000 that you know, for some weird reason. But
yeah.
Like I think, I think in the sense of like mainstream release, that this is probably one of the most expensives. Like, or if not the expensive one. But
I mean, if you're into Civ,
yeah, you'll
pay
so
it
many
for
hours,
thousands of hours, right? The people who play Civ are mental. They love Civ. The thing is, for me though, I thought like if you're playing it on Quest battery only lasts like a couple of hours, and probably less for the intensive games. I was playing a game which I'll talk about in a bit, where it just seemed to drain the headset in minutes. I could just see it going down while I'm playing the game.
Yeah.
So you don't want to play Civ for an hour, do you? You want to play it for
3-meter USB cable.
All that.
No, if I want a wire, I'll play on the bloody PSVR.
We'll get you a head strap. Get a head strap over to you, Laura.
Oh yeah.
But I want to point out because obviously
get a harness, like
Yeah, all that. No, I just want to point out because it's actually been a bit of discussion in the Discord about this game, obviously about the price and things like that. And Grumpy, our good friend Mark, put in the Discord basically saying he's put nearly 450 hours into Civ 6 over Switch and PC. So in terms of like if it's worth it, he would definitely say so. Again, this kind of boils back to the same thing you've just said, Laurie. Do you have a head strap? I already know Grumpy Mark has a head strap. So I mean, he can get about 8 hours out of his Quest with the one he's got, I think, or something like that.
Wow.
I think it's about 8 hours, or the head strap
itself.
itself.
How much is that thing?
4 or 5. No, it's probably about 6 to 7 hours. I'm overstepping it. He's got an old one that I have, the Albuquerque. I think it's but who knows exactly. But you know, if you want to sink that amount of time in it, you can. But let's be honest, no one sinks like 5 hours straight into VR all the time. You do that, you put it on charge, come back to it about 6 hours later, and you have another go. But if you're getting that amount of time out of a game, £50 is not that bad. I always
for sure.
Do it like this: £1 an hour. If you get, a good worth for that hour for each £1, clear sailing. So
yeah, and so we'll see how it does. I mean, I hope they nail it because it's good for these big high profile releases to get good VR versions and pull people in. And I can see how it'd be a great kind of tabletop game. It's like you're playing one of those board games like Catan or something, where you play those on a board game. So being able to play that in mixed reality would be really cool as well. So yeah, let's wait and see how that does when that comes out. It could be the most valuable codes we ever get sent if we get some. I can't. Don't send me a code for that, please. Publishers, I can't sink the hours. Please, it'll stress me out.
I'll play it.
Where am I going to find 600 hours from? Yeah, you'll play. Of course, you'll play it.
I'll give it a go. I don't really like this.
Yeah, no. 10 minutes later, nah, don't like that.
How else do you get yours, Laura?
Well, let me. Let me tell you about a code that I've been playing. Today is on my Quest. It's Pinball FX VR.
I need to play this.
It's so good. It's like so fucking good. I've never played. I understand like pinball in VR is quite the thing. I've never played anything on PSVR2 before, and I like playing it on the Quest. Obviously, the whole being completely mobile makes it a bit easier. It's so good. yeah, with the version we've got sent, so this game, it comes with 3. When you buy the game, I think it's £15 or dollars. And it comes with 3 tables, so I think that's pretty good value because you get a lot of mileage out of playing those 3 tables. And then you can buy additional ones. Now the ones you can buy, the additional ones, they're all licensed ones, so they're like classic pinball that you recognise from when you were younger, like the Addams Family or Star Trek Next Generation. And they are just like how you remember them if you ever played on these tables growing up, like I did. So yeah, they're a bit more expensive. I think they're like £10 or £15 each, so they're kind of a lot. And I've seen people like, if you go on the Quest store and look at the reviews for it, all the reviews are like 1 star because people are kicking off at the DLC being so much.
Yeah,
but I'm like, you don't have to buy these things. The 3
No.
you get with the game are more than enough. I just think the game does a bad job of that because it puts you in this virtual arcade and you can see all the tables, but if you then want to start playing on them, it takes you to the store to unlock it, which is not a great look.
No, exactly.
I think it would be better if it just gave you an arcade with the 3 tables in it, and you don't have to see the other stuff, and then you can maybe go browse separately. Because I think it just kind of rubs in the fact that you can't play on these ones, which is, I think, it's never nice. It's not very classy, you know. People aren't ready to drop 15
can't
quid on
afford
another
this.
table.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you've got to think like a Yorkshireman. You go to a real arcade with a pinball machine, 50p to £1 for one go. It's like, you know, you're only going to get a couple of goes. It's kind of like you get to play this forever for that price. So
Yeah,
that's really good value.
I say I've played a few of the tables. It's just like you're playing real pinball because the graphics on it, because they've only got to kind of recreate a pinball table. It looks completely realistic to me looking at it. I say the Quest's really nice, sharp headset. Colors are really nice. It looks real. And so you put your hands on the side and you just flip the grip buttons, and that sends the triggers, the flippers going. Yeah, you can get out a virtual coin, you put it in the coin slot, you pull back on the launcher, and it's so intuitive, and it plays the Quest controllers triggers are so good and sort of feel just like you're tapping the buttons on the side of a pinball machine to make the flippers go. I kind of forgot I was playing VR and I was just playing pinball, just focusing on that. The weightiness of the balls and the physics of it all just feels so 100% realistic to me. There was nothing that I was playing it thinking this doesn't feel right.
Every time Laurie will say something and I'll chuckle at it because I'm just immature.
I don't even know what it also said that time.
I'm not repeating it, but somebody will listen back and go, I see what he did.
Oh dear.
I know what I'm going to be playing tonight though, because literally the image you sent in the WhatsApp group, I was like, okay, that looks great. So I'm going to jump into it tonight. My headset's all charged. I can see it now.
So the image that Reece is talking about, so as well as walking around the
it's
the
about
arcade,
the game. It's the game.
as well as the arcade, you can go you can play it on mixed reality, and it will just put the pinball table in your room.
That's why the Quest shines, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and so you're just I'm in my kids' playroom, the family room, and there's just a pinball machine there in the middle of the room, and you can just walk up to it and play it. It's so cool.
Such surreal moments, and that happens in VR, in mixed reality. I mean,
and all these tables. So as well as the table itself, each one has like a special effect. So when you're playing the Star Trek one, you'll have like a virtual Enterprise will be like floating around you, and there'll be like some Klingon or someone ship, probably not Klingon, sorry Trekkies, I don't know who it was an alien ship that was flying around, and they were like having
I'd correct you because I'm a Trekkie.
They were having a little battle and stuff around you and stuff, and it was like, I don't know if you can switch. I imagine you can switch those effects off if they're distracting you, but they're really cool. And there's the Indiana Jones table, and like you're playing it, and there's like Indiana Jones is sort of leaning over and watching you play. It's so cool.
Just leans over. You're a bit shit at this, aren't you? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Indy. I'm really bad.
So yeah, I think if you've got any like love for pinball, if you used to play pinball growing up, or you like playing pinball anyway, I think it's a lot of fun, and I think it's pretty cheap for the base game. And if you just ignore the DLC tables, I think what most people would do is they're happy with the 3 tables you get in the game, and everyone will have one that they used to play as a kid in like their local arcade or some club or somewhere that when they were growing up that they have an affinity with. For me, it's the Addams Family one. I was so happy to find this Addams Family because I used to play it all the time as a kid, and I used to remember it and just watching it and do all the little kind of when thing comes out and kind of a little box and stuff. It's just like, I remember that from when I was a kid. So I imagine most people would just buy like one extra table, just something they've got an affinity with. Craig, you'll probably buy the Star Trek one because there's loads of good kind of little Star Trek special effects and all the
because we had Zen Pinball on PSVR 1, is that right? Zen Studios.
Yeah, Zen did one.
Yeah. And yeah, that was a similar format. They released it with a set number of tables, and then you bought the DLC. You know?
So this is same Zen, the same people that this is.
Still Zen, is it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's good.
So yeah, I really love it. I think if you're not bothered about playing pinball, then obviously it's not going to be a game for you. But if you like playing pinball, I think it's one of the kind of magic ways that VR can just totally transport you to forget you're playing a game and you just, you may as well be in an old arcade playing pinball. Yeah, it's really cool.
Nice. I will definitely play that after this. That is that's my plan.
I'm just looking forward to seeing that MR. I just think that's where the Quest shines. Is that kind of experience?
It's like Arcade Paradise in mixed reality as well, and all the arcade machines around you. That was really cool on Quest.
Right.
You can have all the arcade machines around you in mixed reality. And
that would be cool.
So
and I love that game so much.
Yeah,
I love that game so
that's
much.
worth picking up again on Quest if you already have it on PSVR2 and you have a Quest. Arcade Paradise, just for that. Like, it's so cool.
But that means I've got to do the laundry again,
which
I kind of enjoy because I was so bloody good.
Yeah, you love organising.
Yeah, I was going to say you just spent hours tidying up your granddad's
flinging the baskets around, and I loved it.
Right.
What about you guys? Have you been playing anything else that you want to just quickly give a shout out to?
I'll let Hippie quickly tell us the last game he's been playing, other than Wanderer, because obviously we've all discussed that.
The game before that, I was playing Code Coach.
Code Coach.
Yes. Code Coach.
Yeah,
Slimeball on Discord.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
He was. He left.
Well, he is. No, he is.
Scared
he is, of course. It's a free fitness cardio reflex thing on Quest, and I enjoyed it. If you're doing that kind of workout, and it's just like reaction test with the different things and dodging, squatting. Yeah, I enjoyed my time with it.
So, what's it called?
Code Coach.
Yeah, with a K, O-O-R-D.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's free, yeah. And I was having a discussion. They're putting in leaderboards, is looking at the achievements, multiplayer. And if they can do all that and while giving it for free, I'll support that. I'm always looking to promote indies. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of indie games. I've had a few indie developers contact me, especially on Quest. I've been doing most of my stuff on Quest.
Nice.
I kind of set out. Yeah, I've been set out to do like PSVR2 content, but the thing I'm loving about owning the Quest as well is I'm getting to see some of the stuff what will come to PlayStation.
Or some of the stuff that might,
early
never
access,
does.
But early access things as well. And it's just, I think if you can afford to have both, have both.
Definitely, you're not losing by having both.
Don't stop the console war crap. And I had enough console war crap when I was growing up, and it's kind of like, my brother called me Sega hater when the Dreamcast came out because I didn't want it. And it's kind of like, but I don't want to play those games. I don't want to play the next Crazy Taxi. I don't want to play, the arcade quality games. Yes, but I wanted to play Final Fantasy and all that kind of stuff. All the good stuff on PlayStation.
Well,
right,
that's fine.
Well,
plenty of.
I'll take 2 minutes to talk about the game I played. All right.
Go on.
I tried out Horror Simulator on Quest, and I joined up with Game on Scorpio, Sam. I've always have a good laugh with him, so he asked me to jump into his game there. So Horror Simulator is a bit like Phasmophobia, but on Quest. Instead of, walking around and really going deep into the investigation side of stuff, this kind of has more jump scares and really brings up that tension of the jump scares more than anything else while you're trying to, find out what the demon is. Works well, good laugh, quite horrifying, but after playing 3 or 4 sessions, it got to the point where it was like, we kind of know that this is concentrating more on jump scares as opposed to building the tension, because the game does know how to build the suspense and tension just by sound effects and things like that. But instead, they really concentrate heavily on the jump scares. And by that, I mean, you'll see your teammate flicker in and out of being a demon, and then all of a sudden it'll just pounce on you. But it's your teammate, but the demon is there within the same area as well. And it kind of works really well with that. But I think if they kind of lowered the jump scares, worked on the tension a bit more, but, kind of found a good balance between the two, because otherwise you'll play it for 6 games and you'll be like, it's just jump scares. I've got nothing to be scared of anymore. Because Phasmophobia doesn't do anything for me anymore. I play that and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I see. This game is rated a 7 it's 7 up. So I guess it's probably they're going for that kind of younger quest.
Yeah,
audience
definitely.
that
Yeah.
They like if you're playing, if it's like a social game with your friends, then you want
Oh.
the jump scares just to laugh at your friends. For
We
how
was
they're
pissing
screaming
ourselves
and stuff.
laughing, like literally.
Yeah,
like
it's exactly. It's not
I
supposed to
hadn't-
be.
I
It
hadn't
sounds like maybe
tried-
something I'd like because it's
Yeah.
not a proper scary game. It's a more
Yeah.
of a silly, fun game that you play with your mates.
And it
just
definitely
laugh at
was.
each other's.
It definitely was. Like we had a good laugh at it, and I mean, I think that was just our kind of takeaway from it. But not that we were disappointed with we had a lot of fun. Like I mean, it was non-stop laughter with it. So definitely want to check out and play with a group of friends, especially ones that get a bit scared of stuff. It was the first time playing it. I didn't know what the jump scare elements were like, and yeah, I kept it got me a good few times. And knowing that was all recorded as well, it's probably going to see the light of day at some point as well. So
Awesome.
Thanks, Sam, for
Awesome.
that, mate.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, that has been a jam-packed episode. So thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Craig, for joining us as well. It's been a pleasure to have you on.
Yes, thank you very much for having me. It's been an absolute privilege. I loved it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Reece, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us for that.
Putting up with me, DMing, you know.
No, Reece is a busy...
No, just
Have you
been
seen
one of
this
them.
key, Reece? It's like, do you know who I am?
No, it's been a hectic week.
I hope we've given you a moment of silliness to end your week on there, Reece.
It's much needed. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Good. Well, everyone, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please tell all your family and your friends all about us. And if you'd like to jump into our Discord and say hello to everyone, please do so. And you will be able to talk to the one and only Craig, aka Hippie Pickle there, who's frankly much better than I am
At Discord.
replying to people. At Discord, yeah. I forget Discord exists for months at a time. Then I'm like,
I love it. He comes back and responds to somebody. He's like, that was 6 months ago, Laurie. Like, he's like, answer the question. Like, but do you know the thing is, they always respond back to you as well, Laurie. Like, yeah, thanks for start talking to you.
All right.
It's great.
All right.
Perfect.
I've just replied to someone from 10 years ago on my YouTube.
I'm getting better.
He's getting better. He is. So
Right,
definitely join.
I have been your host, Laurie. I've been joined by Reece, and we have been joined by Craig, aka Hippie Pickle, and we will see you again next time. Until then, it's goodbye.